welcome to Season 2, Race 4 of my F1 2021 My Team Career Mode. We are here for the streets of Monaco for the Monaco Grand Prix. And for the fourth time this season, out of the 4 races we've done so far, we have won the pole by a very slim margin. This time it's over Daniel Ricciardo and Sergio Perez. And, yeah, this starting spot pretty much ensures that's going to be a very interesting Monaco Grand Prix. Especially if we can get off the line in first place. And stay in first place. Especially going to be interesting based on the tire strategies as well. Just very, very fascinating. I can't wait to see how it unfolds. We continue to absolutely trounce Sebastian Vettel in our rivalry with him. And I have a feeling we will continue to do so. Though, you never know. Nice to see the Red Bulls have a very good, at least one of them, have a very good qualifying. Considering technically their second best car, but their pace in the first 3 races has exactly reflected that.
Call that a successful qualifying. We should be in with a good chance in the race.
Alright, try race, so no worries about any weird rain issues like we had last time out. R&D upgrades, so we have a bunch coming in for the next race, or I believe in time for the next race, which is Azerbaijan. Let's see, is there anything we can get with the 765 points we have? Could get this plank for the chassis. I think we're due for a upgrade on the chassis side of things, so we'll go with that. And that'll be in time for Canada, which is alright. I mean, we already have upgrades coming in for the Baku Grand Prix, so got no problems doing that. So, and we'll take a look at our engine. That's okay. I think for probably Baku will probably put in a new engine. But without further ado, let's go to the Monaco Grand Prix.
A proper road race, and in the true meaning of the word. That was how Mr. Monaco, the late great Graham Hill, once described this iconic event. The cars we drive have come a long way in the intervening half-century, but still we race on those same public roads beside the Mediterranean Sea. There's no victory more coveted than that of the Monaco Grand Prix. The prestigious Circuit de Monaco, then. It's not all that dissimilar today to the layout that made its debut almost a century ago. It's 2 miles and 19 corners through the streets of Monte Carlo, and although the average lap speed of around 93 miles per hour is the lowest of the season, the tiny margins for error make it the natural habitat of the safety car.
And no dialogue. That's wonderful.
It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. It's the owner driver in pole position then. And P2 goes to Daniel Ricciardo, a strong showing from the Australian. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Perez, Sainz, Charles Leclerc and Tsunoda, Norris, Mick Schumacher, Bottas and Sebastian Vettel, Aitken, Fernando Alonso, Pierre Gasly and Stroll, Ocon, Lundgaard, Callum Ilott and Antonio Giovinazzi, Mazepin, Russell, Joe and Nicholas Latifi.
All right.
After the points finish last race, let's aim to keep the momentum going.
Well, it says it wants stuff on the strategy, so you clearly see that. Race director has a few people going on the mediums, which is interesting. Not as many as I would have thought. Esteban Ocon, Callum Ilott, Nikita Mazepin, George Russell, and Nicholas Latifi. So, it should be fascinating to see what happens with those guys.
Okay, our system checks are good. We need to stay in formation and start bringing the car up to temperature, please. Get some load into the tyres and work the brakes. We want them nice and warm by the end of the lap. The drivers we're racing are Ricciardo and Perez. Radar is clear, weather is looking good for now. Dries seem like the fastest tyre at the moment. No threat of rain for the time being. Conditions looking good.
So, big question, can we win this race? Can somebody wild and unexpected win this race? Since we're starting up front? So many different possibilities, I feel. It'll be a long race, of course. This race is always so long. Even though it's a very short lap. We'll see how many restarts we'll end up doing here.
Keep an eye on the lights. The start sequence will begin as soon as the grid has formed. Be ready with the clutch.
Alright, getting ready to go here. Waiting for the grid to form up fully. And here we go, 5 red lights for the Monaco Grand Prix. We're underway. Ricciardo snuck through. Felt like we got a pretty good jump off the line. Then it sort of stagnated in the second phase, the start. And Ricciardo spun me. That's wonderful. And by moving to the middle, I get completely swamped even more by everyone around me. Let's do take number 2 on the start. Oh, 3 wide. Oh, how are we still 3 wide? Come on. did we manage? How did we manage this? I want to know. How did we manage this? 3 wide up the hill. That's crazy. I have never seen anything like that before on the F1 game. As I take this opportunity to bring up the Monaco corner names so I don't sound like a fool. Yeah, up the hill. How did this happen? Okay, there's no way I escaped that with no damage. No way. Well, yeah, partly because Ricardo just turns into me. Cool as this is, we're getting way too much damage through that start. Yeah, on that particular start, it was just my thumb on the starter was like a trigger finger. I was like waiting. Okay, now that's just... wow. Hmm. Oh, did that one kind of turn out okay? Just really checking the wing damage here. Perez seemed to get away clean, as did Ricardo, so I think we're okay. I think this one actually worked. Somehow I managed to go wide through the tunnel and hit the wall. don't know how, because it's a flat-out corner. But nevertheless, we carry on. Yeah, me winning this race doesn't really, or doesn't, I should say, necessarily matter that much to me. Like, if Ricardo or Perez end up passing me later on in the race and winning, that's fine. And yes, I will be rewinding every time I even so much as lightly tap the wall. So that's what Unlimited Rewind affords me.
leading our teammate by 10.2 seconds. They're on fresh softs. They're in 16th. The time last lap was a 1 minute 14.7. Pack, P1, Ricardo behind. The gap is less than a second. They're on old softs. Your pit window will open in 7 laps time. 36 laps to go.
Oh, I did the thing. Did the thing. Happens once, at least once every single race. You just clip the inside of the Nouvelle chicane, send your car for a spin. Hit the wall just a smidge. Ah, too tight.
The car behind is dropping back by about 0.3 a lap.
Haven't done our first mid-session save yet, but we'll take care of that right there. The windows are lap 11 and 12. So we're about halfway to that point. check out something there real quick. Continuing to rock and roll here around the streets of Monaco. Very liberal interpretation of the chicane, but as long as we don't get any warnings, I don't see any problems. So close to the barrier. So, of course, the interesting thing is going to be to see what happens come pit stop time. And how the field sort of either comes together again or spreads out, depending on when the pit stops occur. And of course, we do know for certain that some people will be staying out longer due to the fact that they are on the medium tire. And whether that actually holds people up is going to be quite interesting to follow.
Be careful, we think you're going to start losing some tire grip around now. Gap to teammate behind is 10.9 seconds. They're on old softs. They're in 16th. The time last lap was a 1:15.0. We're approaching the pit window. You'll be on the mediums.
Ricardo's close. Not gonna be able to make a move that time. Yeah, DRS.
Push now. We're boxing this lap.
Okay, so last place is of course Nicholas Latifi, and we were about 10 seconds ahead of our teammate Christian Lundgaard.
We're leading our teammate by 11.7 seconds. They're on old softs. They're in 16th. The time last lap was a 1 minute 15.2.
Just trying to gauge, based on where Lundgaard is, how far ahead are we compared to the last cars in the running order who are, again, on the medium tire compound, who won't be stopping immediately like us. And that could mean that people will get held up in traffic. They're coming out of the pits.
Okay, we can take you this lap. Affirmative. Medium tyres at the next stop.
So nobody else comes in with me at that point. Okay, so that's alright. I'll stay out another lap. Because I'm worried about getting held up in the pit lane. But I'm also, weary of the whole situation with the guys on the mediums.
Gap to teammate behind is 11.5 seconds. They're on old softs. They're in 16th. The time last lap was a 1:15.4. Understood, stopping this lap.
And we go. People coming into the pits.
Christian is coming in for his stop. Go now.
Oh, that's a bunch of crap. How am I getting held up in the pits? By that many cars.
Christian is in the pits. Christian in the pits.
Now, that time it worked. I don't know what happened the second time, or the first time, I should say.
Pit strategy complete. See these tires through to the end now.
Alright, so our goal here, get by Latifi as quickly as possible. And it's not ideal to run right into the back of him. See if we can get him into the Nouvelle Chicane. We get the spot from Latifi. Stuck behind our former teammate, Juan Yuzhou. And we run into the back of Juan Yuzhou. We caught him so quickly. That's not ideal. And Carlos Sainz is just going to edge out. Just going to edge out Yuki Tsunoda for, I guess, effective P4. Yeah, we got a lot more guys who have stayed out by virtue of starting on the medium tires. You got George Russell in front of us. You've got Nikita Mazepin in front of us. I believe you have the other Haas, I want to say, of Callum Islet. And then you have the race leader, Esteban Ocon, as I just absolutely clobber the wall. Going into Tebek corner. Through the swimming pool section. Right behind George Russell, who, as by the time I'm recording this, or as of this recording, it is official that George Russell will be driving for Mercedes in 2022 as Valtteri Bottas moves to Alfa Romeo to fill the seat left vacant by fellow Finnish driver Kimi Räikkönen, who, of course, everyone knows, Kimi Räikkönen is retiring at the end of this year in Formula One, the end of the 2021 season, which, of course, very much mirrors what we've seen in the last 2 years of the F1 games, and we've had a retirement from the Grand Prix as Pierre Gasly, man, his season, just, he cannot catch a break on that 10 car. So apparently, it looks like Lance Stroll and Valtteri Bottas both had some sort of wing damage. I can't really tell here, but you could tell the guy holding the front wing over here on the left, so there was definitely a wing change that must have happened. When Bottas, you can clearly see they're changing the wing. And then Pierre Gasly, just engine failure. That's the third, I think the third time, second or third time that Gasly has had a DNF due to an engine failure in this career mode, which is in this season to start career mode, I should say, which is it's a real shame, to be honest with you, because Gasly obviously is a very good driver, but that AlphaTauri, their reliability is really, really killing them right now, particularly on Gasly's side of the garage. He must be, at this point, he must be just, apologies as I bang the headset here. But as I was saying, Gasly must be at his wit's end with as many engine failures as he's been experiencing. Must be just incredibly frustrating. Let's try to monitor the wing damage on this thing.
We're leading our teammate by 14.1 seconds.
Looks like Ricardo has finally gotten by Nicholas Latifi. Now we gotta try to find a way around George Russell. That way really didn't work. Sergio Perez is the one now who's stuck behind the Williams. See if we can make the same move on Russell that we did on his teammate Latifi. Into the Nouvelle chicane. And easy as you like, we are by George Russell for that position.
Nice move. Good job.
Up next in front of us is Nikita Mazepin. Of course, Haas scored 0 points in the first season of our career mode. Two Haas drivers looking to potentially change that if the cars behind continue to get held up in traffic.
Man on the track at the moment. Gap to teammate behind is 12.6 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. They're in 18th. The time last lap was a 1 minute 13.5. We're in P4. Mazepin ahead. Less than a second separate you. They're on old mediums. Russell is behind you. Our gap behind is 1.9 seconds. They're on old mediums. Okay, gap to leader, 7.6 seconds. Fourth position, you're in fourth position. Mazepin's just ahead. Push for the position. The gap is less than a second. They're on old mediums. Russell behind. The gap to the car behind is 1.9 seconds. They're on old mediums. The distance to the leader is...
Well, that was never gonna work. Trying to make some heroic move into Rascas, and it did not work. I know the saying is no heroics into Send of Up, and maybe it should be no heroics into Rascas. Man, Mazepin, just parking it on the apex, aren't you? Just kind of go on so fast. Finally, we've got the move done on Mr. Mazepin.
Okay, you're catching the car ahead, but remember, we need to get to the end of the race on these tyres.
Just taking care of something again real quick. Still have 20 laps to go on this thing. Mazepin into the pits, as is George Russell. And Ocon and Isla are still yet to pit.
Teammate by 15.9 seconds.
Just taking the chance here to plug in my computer while I play out the rest of this race. And there we go. All is set. I do want to take a look and see where Ocon comes out and see if the strategy worked out for him. Sort of did. I mean, he's ahead of Sonoda, so that did work out for him. Because he is on hard tires, he will get held up, or he is going to probably, I would think, hold up the guys behind him a little bit. We got one car going slowly. Saw one car going slow going up the hill. Nicholas Latifi's out of the race. Where is he on track? somehow it made it almost to Bill's hairpin, and he pulled off. I'm surprised that is not a safety car. Not gonna lie. But won't argue it. Keep going.
Yellow flag.
A little damage to the front wing there. Got wing damage somewhere. But I guess since it's Monaco, no point in worrying about it like other places because it's so hard to pass here anyway. And I predict the field will be back at a train by the end of the race. With the way things are going as they stand.
Gap to teammate behind is 19.6 seconds.
continuing to move forward here, just driving along. This part of the race is going to get pretty boring, but I mean, there's not really much else to do. Aside, just driving along, trying to complete the race.
Okay, there appears to be an issue. We're currently investigating.
Uh-oh. That ain't good. Just as it seemed like everything was under control, things might not be under control for very much longer.
We can confirm that it's an issue with our engine.
Uh-oh. What part of the engine, though? That's what I wanted to know. Let me rewind for a second because I've lost the ability to make notifications to the team.
You are in first position, front of the pack. Ricardo is behind you. They're on old mediums. Pit strategy complete. See these tyres through to the end now. 12 laps to go. The fastest lap at this point in time is a 1:12.5.
Mario on the
The
hunt.
car behind is dropping back by about 0.3 a lap.
gonna keep on going here. Oh, Ricardo making a move again. I'll hold him off. For the moment, he's gonna try to make a move up the hill, which is crazy. Would not suggest. Did he get any damage? I prefer if he didn't, obviously. I'd like to see him get a good result, as long as it's not him winning the race. Well, if something happens to me, then it's not really my choice, but if it's me or him, I prefer me at this stage of the season. Sure, no wing damage. Alright. Well, he pretty much had to give me that corner. We never would have made it through there too wide. Ricardo had a bit of a moment there.
Tyre condition is still looking good.
this point, the second pack, I guess you can call it, that was being, I guess, held up by Esteban Ocon, has actually followed Esteban Ocon to the back of this front pack. So now it's all one long train. A truly train in every sense of the word. As Daniel Ricciardo looks to make a bid for the lead once again. We will not let it happen.
There's 5 laps of fuel remaining. You're losing a small amount of time to the car behind. Keep pushing.
Going to be 2 straight weeks of really solid results for Esteban Ocon. Of course, he scored on the podium last time out in Spain. I believe it was myself, Schumacher, and Ocon on the podium. And Ocon going to be using a different strategy to go from outside the top 10 to P5. Which is a great result for him.
There's 3 laps of fuel remaining.
Prolonging this race even a little bit more by hitting the barriers at the Tebek corner. Because of course, I'll say at least for me, one of the best parts about the Monaco Grand Prix is finishing the Monaco Grand Prix, knowing that I won't have to come back here for another 20 races or whatever.
Final lap of the race.
So I probably won't run the Monaco Grand Prix again until maybe October or something. So once again, we managed to barely sneak through with pole, and now, in only our second race at Monaco in F1 2021, we're going to come around the final corner. When he closes the car, he'll have DRS, but he won't get to us in time. We win the Monaco Grand Prix.
Superb driving. That's the race win.
Ooh, excuse me. Esteban Ocon, no surprise there. He gets driver of the day.
It's the one that everyone wants to win, and they've only gone and done it. What a fantastic result here at Monaco. So, Anthony, what made the difference out there today?
I think a large part of the result comes down to temperament. They were able to keep their heads when everyone around them was losing theirs, and that's allowed them to get the best out of the car, to maximise the strategy, and to stay out of trouble.
Well, what a thrilling end to an incredible Grand Prix weekend. Our top 3 finishers should be incredibly happy with what they were able to achieve out there today. So then, it's time to see how this result affects the Drivers' Championship. And the championship leaders secured more points today, pushing their lead out even further at the top of the standings. Some amazing talent out on the track today, but Anthony, who would you pick as your driver of the day?
Let's give it to Esteban Ocon. That was a commanding performance today. Very impressive indeed.
It's time to see how things are shaping up in the Constructors' Championship. The current leaders continue to extend their lead at the top. Meanwhile, a strong weekend from Red Bull this time out, and they improve their position in the championship. I'm equal parts exhausted and elated with this weekend of Formula One. Be sure to join us for the next one.
Alright, and that was the Monaco Grand Prix. Take a look at the standings. For the constructors, we are ahead by 22 over Ferrari. Driver standings, we are nearly at 2 race wins ahead of the next car. Charles Leclerc, 48 points back. Yuki Tsunoda, 50 points back. Then you got Ricardo, Mick Schumacher, Esteban Ocon, Carlos Sainz, Sergio Perez, Sebastian Vettel, Lance Stroll, Alonso, Aiken, Bottas. And I think the two big surprises of the season so far, Lando Norris won a race last season, only has 1 point to his name. And Pierre Gasly, with yet another DNF due to an engine failure, the reliability on his side of the garage has just been abysmal to start the season. So evidently, the AlphaTauri team did not upgrade or did not adapt fully their durability department for the new regulations.
Amazing performance out there. I'm sure you're pretty happy with that. It's safe to say you're smashing everyone's expectations, isn't it? Do you think you were lucky not to end your race with that crash?
Oh, ignore you. Ignore you. I was gonna answer that question. I was not going to answer that question, even though it might cost me money. We'll see. Yeah, that cost me some money. For the Zyneto sponsorship, I believe. Alright, I see these upgrades are successful in terms of coming in on the car. And right out of the gate we got a problem. Just lovely. The diffuser did not come in. Fortunately, that is adapted before the next race weekend, which is relief at least. Let's see. Race simulations, definitely, for experience and awareness. Aerodynamic equipment upgrade will give us 45 resource points. I will gladly take that. Sponsored advertisement for the drivers will give us 18.75k in cash. That seems like an easy one to select. So, that's what we will go with.
I know we were expecting some new developments to come through, but some of them have failed quality control. We'll need to tell the team what to redevelop via the R&D screen.
So one upgrade came in, one did not. Fortunately, we just have enough to update this one, so we should have that upgrade coming in for Canada. And with the upgrade, we are actually, as shown here in the performance comparison chart, we have jumped just barely Alpine and Aston Martin in the pecking order. As you can see, it's very tight. Basically, from after Mercedes, it's very tight from basically Red Bull through us. So Red Bull, Ferrari, McLaren, Rockstar, OMG, Racing, Aston Martin, and Alpine. Basically, it's just all tight from those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 teams. And we got power unit upgrades from Renault, which is nice. I think, is there anything else? So we have $9.42 million in the bank. So aerodynamics and chassis are still on level 1. So let me go back. So how much is left to be developed on these? So aerodynamics is 11, chassis is 12. I feel like we should go with a quality control upgrade. On the aerodynamic side. And we really can't do anything else with the resource points. Second driver is happy by the looks of it, which is nice. And I think development feedback, we'll get this one here. Purchase that perk. Get some more resource points. So, that was the Monaco Grand Prix. And as you can see by the season results, we're continuing our incredible streak that we started after the end of after our DNF in the Japanese Grand Prix. 4 wins in the last 5 races in Season 1 with a 2nd place in Australia. And then to start Season 2, we have 3 wins and a 2nd. So things are looking very, very, very good for us right now. And, yeah, not much else to say about that. So, you'll see you next time for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix, one of my better races on the calendar.